can't get questions. I'll monitor it on my phone. Give me a second. Let me Facebook.
I got you guys talking.
What?
One more time, Bobby.
Will I see you guys or no? You just see me.
No.
Yeah, we're just gonna see.
And
you
if
right
you
now.
logged into Facebook, then there's kind of a lag.
Yeah.
There's a lag.
All right,
Turn it down.
we're groovy.
We're live? All right, Bobby, we're live.
Whoa, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Thorn 3-pack. Take 2 live.
We got Bobby
I thought-
today, baby.
I thought this was like banned, like the one time we did it in San Diego at your original brewery. I thought it was banned after that.
We did ban it because the Tom and Jay Talking Head show went south pretty quick. But now we got some action. We got talent on the show. We got Bobby. What's up?
Well, hold on, real quick. Thomas Edward Kiely, GM Thorn Brewing.
Dennis Taxman, Thorn, Home and Away, ReBru, co-founder. Whatever.
And then we got our lovely guest, Mr. Bobby Matthews, expat. Yeah, what? Where were you? Alpine, right? You were Alpine Beer forever.
Yeah,
a little bit of Green
Alpine
Flash.
Beer Company. That's all we need. That's all we need to mention.
That's all you claim.
Yeah. If you don't know Bobby Matthews and San Diego craft beer, you don't know craft. You don't know San Diego. You're fired. This guy's a legend.
Fired.
You're fired.
Hey, where do I find this thing on Facebook?
Oh, we'll throw
on
it to
our
you.
feed, on the Thorn feed.
Yeah. So, we need some updates, Bobby. So Bobby left San Diego and he bought
What was it? 3 years ago? 2 years ago? How long ago, Bobby?
Yeah, I left San Diego twice. Once I went to Europe in the spring.
Yeah, I was gonna say you had your Dave Chappelle moment, right? You went to Africa and then you went to Ireland. I remember that.
So I went, all over Europe, and that was the main goal. I kind of wanted to find out where I wanted to be, and
you hit the honey
the
pot.
economy in Europe is just not really feasible to do anything. And with all this crap going on now, I'm glad I didn't go. I was just talking to my buddy in Ireland today, and Ireland's been shut down, locked down. I think now they can go 20 kilometers from their home without being arrested. So that didn't pan out. I came back home to San Diego, and then I took a road trip, and then I found a couple spots in Idaho that I really loved, and I bought a grocery store. So
I love that.
And
in Idaho City, right?
In Idaho City, the population of 450 people.
And you could sell tags. You could sell hunting tags, and you also sell beer, right?
I sell hunting tags.
You
and
sell
beer.
tags?
That's so sick.
Hunting tags, beer, and liquor.
So you pretty much,
But you sell them to yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. So you're,
There's a one-legged duck swimming through.
so you're
Your best customer.
You're only missing a stripping pole in the backyard, or you probably have that.
I didn't say that.
So you just don't leave. Do you not leave the property? I guess to hunt, but you're pretty much have everything you want right there.
Yeah, we're pretty much, this, so it's kind of ironic about this whole virus thing that's going on. Our county that I live in is 98% public land. So
98?
in the Boise, of course, in the Sawtooth area. So we actually haven't had a case of COVID in my county.
Damn.
At all. So we've been very blessed, although we're getting inundated with people from 8. So it's odd. I live in Boise County, but Boise's not in Boise County. Boise is in Ada County, about 60 miles from here. So we get a lot of people that can come up here right now and, recreating.
Yeah.
So.
O-Rod says, what's up?
Who's that?
Omar Rodriguez.
Oh, Omar, what's up, buddy? You owe me $50.
So yeah, shit. I'd love it. We got to see a tour of the place one of these days. I've been wanting to go out there for a while, but I'll make it up there one of these days. I'll bring you some Thorn. We'll fill up the truck and we'll have some fun.
Heck yeah, man.
Hey, Bobby, do you know?
Heck yeah is an Idaho thing.
Hey, do you know Edge Brewing?
Edge, I do know of Edge Brewing. I've only been there a couple times.
So Keith Bender, one of our former guys, went up to Idaho for a year or two. He just moved back. He was selling beer for Edge Brewing for a little bit.
Yeah. I've had their beer. It's just mediocre at best.
Ooh.
There's not a lot of good beer up
Shots
here
fired.
in Idaho. You know what I mean? In Boise proper, Barbarian Brewing Company by far is one of the better ones. Western Collective is decent. There's just not a lot of really good brewing companies here. Why that is, I don't know. So anybody who's listening to this and lives in San Diego, wants to freaking open a brewery in Boise would make a freaking fortune.
I think Shelly's on his way right now. He says he's going to live with you.
You keep that fucker away.
Hey, actually, Bobby, when you went up there, I thought you were considering making like the Alpine of Boise, like a little hole in the wall barbecue spot with like world class beer.
No, yeah, that's 100% correct. That's what one of my dreams was to do, to get that vibe back. In fact, Pat and Val actually came up and visited me. But you know, this grocery store has grown so much, it's so busy. It's really hard to even think about that right now. And I don't mind being away from the craft beer scene. It's, you know, you're on one side of the ball, and now I'm on the other side in retail. So I get to see all the peckerheads come in here trying to sell me beer. I just laugh.
Let
me explain to you about beer. That's what they tell me.
Yeah. When this whole COVID thing hit, did you run out of toilet paper too?
We didn't, because we're smart up here. You see, so again, we live so far away that we actually have to drive to get our supplies for the store. They used to have a van when I bought the store. I bought a big giant box truck now, the hydraulic lift and all. But we had to supply so far in advance just to get better pricing, you know. So I actually was really fortunate. I mean, through this whole thing, we've been so blessed and fortunate. I can't even begin to tell you.
Did you say too earlier when we were chatting before we went live that Boise's actually shutting back down? Did you say something's going on there?
Yeah, so Boise went to phase 4, whatever the fuck that means. Beyond me, but
for San Diego, it's concerts.
So they basically had bars in that open where you can be only 6 feet away from people, which is fucking perfectly fine for me because I fucking hate people. I want to drink a beer. I don't want anybody near me anyway. You
want to hunt them?
That's right. I want to freaking pop a cap in their ass. Anyway, so they did that, and it's kind of weird how it went down, but so basically what happened, and you're gonna love this. I know you're gonna love this. 4 people from 10 Barrel, I work for 10 Barrel, decided that they wanted to go out in town and went to a shitload of clubs and all this stuff, got sick, and then went back to work. And then they, I don't know if it's them that made everybody sick, but it was a whole big thing, and basically people have been pretty big, and it's kind of, you know, it's skyrocketed.
So what you're saying is Budweiser is responsible for the COVID outbreak in Boise, Idaho?
You can't say absolutely without AB.
That's some news right there.
That puts Dennis in a precarious position because he doesn't believe in the COVID, but he also wants to stick it to Budweiser.
I believe in COVID one. I don't believe in the doily he wears on his face. They already said that the cloth mask. I mean, I'm very thankful that I don't have to smell your breath, Tom. So that's really nice. But you're not protecting yourself or me.
Burden myself with
Thank you. He's one of those guys that just virtue signals, drives around his car by himself with the mask on. What the fuck does that do? That's Tom.
I know. That's why I'm trying to buy Dennis's Prius so I can be maximum liberal.
Oh, full on. Yeah. No, he's full noise. Yeah, you got to get one of those Blacklight BLM license plates.
I'm open to it.
Yeah, Boston Lives Matter.
Yeah, there you go, buddy. I can live with that. So what do you...
Get in your car.
Get in your car. Don't smell my fart.
No, smell my farts. Hey, Bobby, I'm out of curiosity, what do you remember? I know that you had mentioned like you don't mind the little break, but like what were like the parts of the San Diego beer or just beer in general that you really enjoyed and that you do miss?
You know, the good people, man. I mean, I monitor from time to time, but it's a good times, dude. It's not even, you know, I could give a fuck less anymore. I mean, I give a shit what anybody thinks about me, but I mean, like, not the Tornado shit, dude. Fuck them, too. I mean, they treated people like shit. Everybody knows that they did, and you know, I mean, it's not a reason they went down. I mean, you know, it wasn't overly friendly unless you were a part of the bro culture of that thing. But I'm talking about like the real kind of shit, dude. Like real people. Like when you just go to a brewery and hang out with people that you know and have some beers and stuff, and that's what it's all about, you know. For me, I don't know. I'm not trying to diss Tornado either. I'm not trying to be a dickhead about that. I have my druthers with a lot of things that happened back then too. In San Diego craft beer, It just, I guess it just got too saturated, you know. But for the reality, it's the real people that I miss, you know. You know, when Pat owned Alpine and you know, stuff was done, you know, I mean, drinking Nelson out of the cow, you know what I mean? The real kind of stuff where it was good, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You go over to the Zwickel off of the freaking fermenter and milk the cow for some Nelson. I mean, I think there was one point I think we drank more than we sold.
Yeah.
But I miss those times. But there's a lot of stuff I don't miss too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, out of curiosity, are there any in particulars?
I think there's a lot of
because
I mean, for me, you know, I mean, I was a train wreck, dude. I mean, I'd be the first one to tell anybody.
You partied at the end. You partied extra hard.
Yeah, drinking, driving, acting like a fucking idiot. 2014, got a DUI, leaving a bar, you know, all fucked up, and monkey paw at the time. I'll never forget all that stuff. But you know, it's amazing to me we haven't had more casualties and things like that with the craft beer in San Diego because of how loose it was at the time, you know. But you know, I mean, it's just kind of weird. I guess I'm glad I missed the Melvin phase and all that shit of people coming in trying to just make money and get the hell out of there, you know. But I tell you, I do miss Monkey Paw and a good cheesesteak down at Monkey Paw. God damn, I miss that.
Yeah, you know, the Regal Beagle guys bought it out. They're still doing a cheesesteak.
Whoa, that changes everything. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, they opened it like right before coronavirus,
Yeah.
like a month or two before.
What do they call it?
It's Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket.
Yeah, they're not brewing. But actually, I think what's in it? You know, Coronado was in there or South Norte for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then a little accident. The brew system went to shit. But yeah, I think the Beagle guys had no intention of brewing, but they are gonna, I think, create like a game room out of that little extra side yet. It's not even being used right now. That back area, to the best of my knowledge.
And you know, I know a lot of people don't like Scott Blair. I always love Scott Blair. Some of the things I do today at my store, and the reason, I'll say this straight up, the reason that I've been successful in some of the things that I've done is because of his vision in talking to me before I ever left, before this store was ever a reality in my mind. I always liked the way that he did business down there. You know what I mean? He was an innovator, not an imitator, and I think that's what I've done when I've come here. You know, and I've been blessed to have a lot of good mentors along the way. Derek Marceau from Valley Farms is another one who actually going in there let me know that, God, I could actually do this if I wanted to do something. So this whole thing, though, but me ending up in a grocery store or even owning a grocery store is just, I mean, it was never the end game. But it's been a vehicle. It's made me really happy. I like it up here. I fit in up here. Idaho is home to me. Everybody walks down the street wearing a gun. I love it. I love it.
I feel like a grocery store in Idaho City is like a bodega in any other city.
Yeah, we do kind of everything here.
I'm surprised you don't have a gun store in the grocery store.
I'm working.
I was going to say, I mean, you're selling hunting tags, you're selling beer,
yeah,
you got groceries. I think you need to put a little.
We don't have space. No more milk and eggs. We're doing guns instead.
Yeah, screw the Gatorade.
You know, I love it. You know, I like what I like about, and I know Dennis will love this. What I like about here is, and I know that Tom's probably like this. You know, it's the old school way. Even where I come from, is it's no bullshit here. You know, you talk shit here, you get your ass kicked. Period.
Yeah.
There's no cops involved. There's no nothing. So it's a wild west where I live, and I love it. I absolutely love it. There's no more of that, you know, you talk shit about somebody on Facebook, somebody's knocking on your door here. But I mean, and the flip side of that,
it'd be a tough town for you, Tom. It'd be a tough town for Tom, for sure. That'd be a tough town for Tom, for sure.
The first year I bought the store, we had a sewer problem. It happened on Memorial Day weekend. So you could imagine if something happened on Memorial Day weekend in San Diego, you'd be doomed. The whole town was down here with backhoes and everything and helped me fix everything and wouldn't take a penny. So it's kind of a cool place where I live. In fact, I was just doing a little research today, and Idaho City used to be the biggest city in the Pacific Northwest back in the day, even bigger than Portland. And they used to have breweries and all sorts of stuff here. It's burned to the ground like 3 or 4 times, but it's an old mining town. In fact, more gold was taken out of here than if I'm saying this correctly, either the California or the Alaskan gold rush.
Jesus.
Was taken out of here by the rebel army, and it funded the Civil War. So it's kind of cool stuff. There's a lot of history.
Wait, did it fund the North or the South?
The South. Yeah, doesn't that make me a bag of shit?
Yeah, confirmed. Hey, I don't care. Wait, you said it's burned to the ground 3 or 4 times. Is that because you just it's so densely wooded? Like, what caused it to burn?
Yeah.
Arsonists.
Yeah. So again, where we live is 98% public land. So behind my store, that's where I live. I have a house behind my store, and then behind my house, there's actually a airport for the Hotshots, or the fire crews that fly in from all over the country. They fly in, they fly out. So we have our own hotshot crew here in town, just like kind of Laguna and that do up in...
Hotshots parachute into the fires, Tom, and
yeah, they're badass.
Yeah. They parachute in and they kind of dig up trenches and try and like redirect stuff, right?
That is not the life for me.
Yeah.
It's I don't remember the name of the tool. I got to think of the name of the tool. But they have a tool. It's got an axe on one side, like a pickaxe thing on the other side. Pulaski, that's what it's called. So they hike into these backcountry areas. Some people have chainsaws, some people have Pulaskis. They have them up in up North Alpine and Pine Valley and that too. The Laguna Hotshots are in Descanso. But these, we have our own Idaho City Hotshots, and we get a lot of forest fires up here. It's crazy. In fact, we're headed to have some thunderstorms here tonight, and thunderstorms started a lot of the fires. So,
yeah, you're due for a controlled burn, maybe, Bobby.
Well, they do this all the time. They cut a lot of stuff down. They do a lot of controlled burns here. We've actually had a pretty wet spring and early summer. In fact, we just had snow just the other day.
Really?
Yeah, so it happens this time of year. We've had snow July 4th here.
Did you have snow before going to Idaho? Have you ever lived anywhere that had snow?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, so I'm used to snow. I'm used to cold. 4 seasons here, but it's nice. I wouldn't.
I'm gonna get a beer. I'll be back.
I love it here.
Yeah, good for you, brother. It does feel. I feel like I don't know Idaho that well. When I think of it, it definitely feels like a Bobby place.
Yeah, it is. And I mean, I fit in, and like I said, the people here are real people, and we get people from all walks of life that come through here. So, and we've raised the beer. We have a lot of craft beer. We sell a ton of craft beer. Here we have a Growler Fill station, which you can actually do legally in Idaho. They changed this thing for you guys, not you guys, but like stores and restaurants. I think you guys can do that now. So I don't know.
Yeah, well, we can do it now. Like bars can do like cocktails to go and shit like that. It's like supposed to just be temporary coronavirus stuff. They might, who knows how long they'll keep it. But yeah, bars can do Growler Fills. I don't think liquor stores can, but it's probably just a matter of time.
Well, liquor stores, they're already off premise. I don't think they could do Growler Fills, but
no, but he can.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember you saying that.
So it's weird. It's kind of weird being on this side of things, seeing how things work in retail, and like I said, but from being in the business for so long, you get, they're not getting any shit over on me. I promise you that. The beer reps hate me.
I believe it.
And I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm sure you're a pain in the ass.
Well, we got
in a good way. Bob.
We got GABF on the ticker. So
yeah.
Did we just submit our beers for GABF? Is that?
Yeah. Registration deadline was this year. How many? We actually almost didn't even register.
How many submissions did we
waste?
Dude,
they let you have 10 this year.
How much did we waste on West Coast IPA?
Oh, wait. Oh, how many did we waste, or just on West Coast? I mean, we wasted 6 of them. 6 out of the 8 entries.
Not IPAs, though.
No. We did West Coast IPA. Well, sorry, it's American IPA. We did IPA. We did Strong Pale. We did Hazy. We did Hazy Strong Pale. We did a historical beer.
What was
Oyster
that?
Stout.
I think the IPA
Strong ale.
Strong Pale. That's probably where our IPA should be submitted. GABF's kind of funny like that. The IPA, what is there, 600, 554, something crazy.
Yeah,
in that
actually,
category.
I think the last 2 years, Hazy IPA has been entered more than the West Coast IPA.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
So, obviously we got two.
So there's like 4 different hazy categories now. There's 4 different quote unquote IPA categories, and
we got the Michelada in there though.
yeah, we do it.
We did a
submitted
Michelada.
as our as an experimental beer.
Yeah,
we
it
just
came-
canned one, Bobby.
It came out bitching, Bobby. You
Yeah, we'll
dig
send
it.
that up to Idaho.
What kind of beer is it?
It's a Michelada.
It's the Barrio Lager with all the
Oh,
fixings.
you did it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, we did the Barrio Lager with.
Enchilada. I'm like, good God.
Yeah. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. Yeah, we also did a seltzer too. Black Paw. Pow. Brought to you
Actually,
by
Yeah,
Black
a lot
Paw.
of people are doing seltzers up here.
Yeah.
Bobby, if we were to send you beer, like how much beer could you take?
All of it.
You want a pallet?
Heck yeah.
All right,
Could you
let's fucking-
Could you sell a pallet?
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, we sell a lot of beer. This store there's people that drive 60 miles from Boise to come here. Because it's
We'll get you.
no fluff.
Dude, if you're gonna take a pallet, we can send you a pallet.
Yeah, after this call is done, we'll work out the logistics. We're getting you a pallet of beer, Bobby, for sure.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
Done deal. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. I mean, can I take you for a walk in my
Please.
store?
Yeah, that'd be
do.
great.
Let's take you for a walk here. Let's see what happens.
All right, and you got Shane Jones says "Keep it flowing, baby," and
Shane Jonas.
is that Jonah? Oh, I can't see that
Jonas.
Oh,
far.
I love it. Yeah, Jonas brother.
Jonas. All right.
Yeah,
There we go.
you would, Bobby.
So here's what, like, we cut all the meat and all, and that's Kelly. That's Kelly.
What's up,
What up,
Kelly?
Kelly?
San Diego.
He's got
So he's one of my
He's got a front. He's got a front model.
great guys.
All right,
So we have a bunch of different beers on here. We have some soda here, orange cream and a root beer. We have Summerfest from Sierra Nevada. Barbarian is an IPA, which is phenomenal. Lucille from Georgetown. If you guys have never had Georgetown
I've
beer,
not.
amazing. Frank Coast from Fort Bragg. Mega Meow, which is a barrel aged stout from Georgetown as well. And then Jeremiah Johnson's from, let me see if I can get it in there. There you go. It's from Montana. Good Lord, I couldn't even think about it. But yeah, we have like all sorts of growlers. I'll actually put you down here. You see all sorts
Sick.
of growlers.
we're
There's
filling
our
up a pallet.
logo.
We're sending you. We're going to send you all kinds of
This is our
swag.
cool
and good
logo
stuff.
here.
I love it. You did a great job on the remodel too.
You can see like that. Yeah, and then so we got this here. I'm kind of just marching around here, and oh, I got my hand on the thing. So we're live in San Diego. Patrick, you want to talk live? And say, this is Patrick.
What up,
Hatfield.
Patrick Hatfield?
He's a local. He's a great guy. So this is what we got here for beer. But you can kind of see. I'm gonna kind
Do
of.
you
walk
have any
down.
San Diego beers?
We get Mike Hess from time to time. And Mike, it sells really good.
Do you use a distributor?
We have a distributor. It's who does Mike Hess? Northwest.
Are they the Miller Coors get people?
Northwest? No, not Miller Coors.
Okay,
no,
cool.
it's Northwest Specialties. So, but anyways, that's all that. You got all sorts of. How about this one? Here's a beer for you. You ready?
Oh, born ready, baby. What is that? 18? What is that?
What?
Did you see it?
The Weston Pale Ale.
Western Shooter. Shooter.
Dick Shooters.
Shooters.
What?
Yeah, there's a town in. There's a town in. Oh, you
Yeah.
there? I lost
We're
you.
here.
Hold on, I don't know how to get back here. There we go.
We're
All right.
here.
So there's a town in southwestern Idaho called Dick Shooter. Swear to God, you can't make that up. But anyway, that's
Tom cut his leg playing with shower cock. I mean, you can't make that up either.
that's Dick Shooter Pale Ale. So that's a local beer from Boise. So anyways, this is it, and then of course there's Domestic Heaven. So this is Domestic Heaven here.
Oh boy, is that a walk-in?
We have a big
Yeah.
we have a big beer cave. So I can't hear anything on this phone. Sorry about that.
It's all good, buddy.
So that's the whole enchilada that way. And you don't think this is great people. This is Jess. She works for me.
What
Hi,
up,
Jess?
Jess?
So, what up, Jess? You're in San Diego. This is a live thing in San Diego. Anyway, so that's pretty much what's going on up here in my neck of the woods. I'm grabbing another beer here while we're talking.
I love it.
Dude, we should just load up a van with beer and go and take it ourselves.
Done. Hey, is there
Would be cheaper.
I might do that because
How long's the
I
drive?
want to come up there and I was curious. Are there any just over the counter tags you have, or there something I should put in for sooner than later? Anything coming up that'd be fun?
Well, one of the cool things about where we live in Idaho, so Idaho is the last great state, they call it. So in Idaho, I'm going to come back over here and take a seat. In Idaho, there is actually over-the-counter tags.
Yeah.
There's no point system in Idaho.
So what's coming up? What's coming up down the pipeline in the near future?
Are
Are you getting into
here in October?
Are you getting into
elk in
any?
November.
Are you getting into any archery stuff? Or are you just doing? You still shoot plug-in? You still shoot?
Archery season is draw.
It's a draw.
So yeah, so my season's gonna. So this is why I moved here. So I moved to Idaho because it's centrally located to all the western states for hunting. Call that selfish, call it what you will, but that's my whole deal. I'm a hunter. That's what I love to do, which doesn't really fit the norm in San Diego. We all know that. But so I moved here because I'm literally 4 hours away from Nevada. I'm 4 hours away from Utah. I'm 4 hours away from Wyoming. I'm 5 hours away from Montana. I'm 2 hours away from Oregon, 3 hours away from Washington, and 10 hours away from Canada. So I put in for 10 states tags for draws this year. I drew antelope and buck deer. If you can shoot a whitetail or a mule deer in Wyoming on the South Dakota border in the Badlands, which has been a dream hunt of mine my whole life. I drew for elk in Oregon. I put in for moose here in Idaho. If you put in for moose, you can't put in for anything else. That's the way it is. So I can still hunt deer and elk in Idaho just in the general season. And then I'll put in for the bow tag, which I'll get because I can sell licenses here. I'll put in for the bow tag in the sawtooth zone, which you get to hunt elk and rut, so you can actually call them in. It's pretty exhilarating.
Nice.
I'll tell you that. You get an elk within 10 yards, they bugle, it makes your hair stand on end. So, and then we're all part of a big ranch up north, and we actually we hunt whitetails and stuff there. So we'll hunt whitetails in November. So, and I shot a really big one last year. So, yeah, really, it's just what I do, you know.
Yeah, I see a lot of animal slaughter in your future.
So Tom, Tom eats meat, so
I'm not opposed to
I always
hunting.
love that. And the only
I
people
was
that can
fucking
talk
with
shit are vegan. And if you're we've already heard it. So I think so. Both of you. So everybody, shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of industrial meat and all the bullshit people pump full in their stuff. So I think eating wild's great. So I'm all for it, Robbie. Get it.
Yeah, and we even here at the store here, we do a lot of local meat here from Idaho and a lot of Snake River farms and things like that here. So we're pretty blessed. We're pretty self-sustained here in Idaho. Idaho is one of those places where they actually grow grain, they grow hops. There's a lot of all Idaho made beers, you know.
Nice.
It's kind of a neat thing, and I'm sure if you guys wanted to come up, who's brewing for you these days?
Do you know Sean Steele?
I do not.
Do you know?
Sounds like a porn star.
Yeah,
we are
doing porn.
He was head of QC/QA at Strauss for a long time, and then he was director of brewing operations at Coronado for a bit. Yeah. And then we got Josh Coombs. He was a Green Flash guy. I don't know if he was there when you were there with Alpine.
Gotcha. But yeah, I mean, there's always people from up here. Some of the better breweries are always looking to do collaborations up here, which is a really good way to get in up here. So I know enough people. So if we ever want to do something, we could always do something rad, you know?
Yeah, we could hang out. We could fight around.
Yeah, and we have the trailer. We'll bring beer up. I could fill up that whole trailer and take the Sprinter up. And I think when we get off this call, we'll figure out a way to get you a bunch of beer. I think we get you a pallet of beer. I think that'd be fun.
We'll send you home with elk and deer meat.
Perfect. I'm in. Then I'm definitely doing it. No brainer.
Cool, brother.
Well, cool.
Yeah. So what else? So what's going on with Thorn? What's the deal?
So, coronavirus. So right now we got some PPP money. So that'll be up the end of the month in June. And then, we're kind of, so we got, like I said, Sean Steele's now director of brewing ops. And so the back of the house has changed somewhat considerably. We had to lay a couple people off, but not too many. And we're about to start selling beer in Arizona. We are selling beer in Japan and Mexico and Korea.
Nice.
Korea could be, we might sell more beer in Korea than in America in a year's time. We'll see. It's a dream deal. We're not that close, but we're kind of close. We're inching towards it.
And then Bobby, have I told you about the distillery project? Did I get in with that with you at all before you left?
I remember that, when I left, you still didn't have that warehouse was still full of the stuff from Wang's. I remember Wang's.
Yeah.
God, I love I love Wang's.
Is this Wang's?
This is Monkey King. So the whole project's just a rad upcycling project. More than half the kitchen equipment and the furniture are from bars and restaurants that went out of business. The wood fire pizza we're doing is actually using spent grains from the brewery next door, and then the business model for the distillery is actually upcycling finished craft beer that's overstocked or going out of code. So that was the business model before this whole COVID thing started. We had talked to distributors and other breweries and figured we'd be doing about 1 to 2 trucks a month. Because of the COVID thing and the shutdown, we're doing 4 to 6 trucks a week. We're cooking about 20,000 gallons of craft beer a week right now, and we're doing stripping runs and moonshine. We're kind of going through all of it, literally running the still 24/7 right now. So it's going to be one of those things. Yeah, it's going to be fucking awesome because it's like, I mean, a lot of people don't know that all whiskey's made from beer.
Can send you some booze.
Yeah, I'll send you
along with the beer.
You're recycling beer.
We're recycling beer. Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. So it's crazy because it's that was the plan all along, but it's like one of those kind of sleeper Cinderella stories that once this COVID thing's done. I mean, right now we're brewing it, or we're distilling so often, literally 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that we're just filling up these giant. We have a 1,500 gallon tote, another 1,200 gallon tote, 5 275s. They're all full of spirits that we just need to get bottles. We don't even have bottles yet, so we're going to be bottling. We're going to end up having 15,000 bottles just from what we've done in the last 45 days. So
what's it called? Is it still Thorn?
No, it's ReBru, ReBru, and that's going to be kind of like. Have you ever been to Japan, Suntory? So
I have.
Yeah, so the goal is kind of ReBru's like this umbrella that doesn't really take main stage, but it's by ReBru. So there's going to be different brands. One of the things we're doing too, I'm taking the team on the John Muir Trail at the end of July for a big hike. And I've been chatting with guys in Washington and Oregon. I'm trying to source wild berries and herbs and stuff for the gin. So I think we're going fuck organic and going wild, fuck organic, go wild kind of thing. So
love it.
Yeah. So we're trying.
I hate that word organic. It's awful. I love.
It's wild. Awful. Yeah, it's wild. So we're upcycling finished craft beer. We're trying to source anything and everything we can as local as possible and try and go wild to the source versus trying to, versus getting our tea from China and our hops from New Zealand. Like the whole thing is just, pretty much a pet project of just doing it the right way and using what we have here. And what I like to say is in the spirit of spirits, because whether it's beer or spirits, all of those styles originated by what was abundant in those areas at that time. And now we're just spoiled where you can get, yeast from New Zealand and Belgium and grains from fucking Africa. It's like everyone's trying to recreate these styles that have been made around the world, but that's absolute shit in a time of, food chains and supply chains breaking down. It's like time to kind of find what you could do with in your own backyard. So that's kind of what we're doing.
And that's rad. I mean, I think that's the problem with a lot of the things up even here. I know distributors up here, they didn't have any cores, they didn't have any PAPs because it was all out of code. And they don't even know what to do with it because they don't even want them to dump it down a drain, right?
Well, yeah, and then some people are going to, but you're not supposed to because it ruins the wastewater system. So you're actually supposed to treat it. So the best thing to do is to distill it, because what you then do is you take out the alcohol, which is bad for the wastewater system. You also fix the pH and you get rid of all the organics, so the yeast and any of that shit that would kind of wreak havoc on the microorganisms and the things that they're using to eat the waste and kind of reconvert it to drinking water. So yeah, it's actually the way to treat bad beer. And we're turning it into bitch and spirits. Yeah. So.
No, and it's good. And it's a good message, especially for today, dude. I mean, I'm sure you didn't know this was going to happen, obviously, with coronavirus. all this stuff would hit the fan.
Got really
so,
lucky. That's for sure. It's a making lemon out of lemonade situation. I mean, we definitely don't. We weren't planning on it, and it was what it was. But it was just one of those things where like, holy shit, like we don't even know what to do with ourselves. We got so much of it now.
Right.
Making lemons out of lemonade.
Bud Light lemonade.
Yeah.
What do you? And you don't have to answer this, obviously, but so when you have distributors working with you, are you paying for the product, or are they just giving it to you because they don't want to pay to get rid of it?
They're giving it to us because normally they have to pay to get rid of it. So we're getting free.
So it's a win-win.
It's a win-win. Yeah. So they win because they have to rightfully deal with it. And, so you've seen, I mean, nationwide breweries have gotten popped for pouring shit down the drain, which they're not supposed to do. So it's
what a way to fuck the man. Love it. Right?
Yeah.
The government wants their money, but you're not going to give it to them.
No, they'll get it. They get the spirits have tax on it. They'll get it, but yeah, it's a different thing, but it's better than
a matter of cutting down those taxes. So that's the key.
I mean, it's actually better for them because the fact is that if that was out of code and they end up disposing of it, you don't pay taxes on disposed beer. So this way that it's actually being recycled to where it will, at the end of the day, get utilized and taxed. So if anything, I should get credits and one of those get out of a traffic ticket free things or something if they still have those.
Uncle Jerry will give you a little snuggle.
One big audit from the IRS, one or the other.
Yeah, give me a high five. Yeah, we're cranking. So, but yeah, I can't wait. We're gonna definitely add some of that stuff to your palette we put together and send you because we got it in spades. I just got to bottle it now. But I could just send you some. I send you a growler for personal use.
Hand sanitizer.
Fuck that, man. If I wanted to sell hand sanitizer, I'd have got a job at CVS.
Dennis loves that line. Dennis used that line like 5 times.
I love it.
Yeah, because everybody asked that. It's like, fuck, I don't want to sell hand sanitizer. The hand sanitizer thing.
There's a big grin.
Yeah, the hand sanitizer thing was stupid, anyways, because it was, everyone's thought that there was a shortage in hand sanitizer, but there wasn't a shortage in hand sanitizer.
A shortage of packaging.
It was just in packaging because the China stuff was shut down, so no one was getting these little fucking 5-ounce bottles. So you still have all these major manufacturers and distilleries that make heaps of fucking hand sanitizer. That's their job too. And the funny thing is a lot of these distilleries in town and elsewhere were using it as a marketing thing, but they're actually getting their hand sanitizer transfer and bond. They're not actually making it. They're just buying it from the bigger distilleries and people that make hand sanitizer, putting it in a bottle that says their name and going, look, we're saving fucking the world, blah, blah, blah. But it's all bullshit. So we don't play that. I'm over that shit. Homie, dude. Don't play that, bro.
No, I'm over that shit. And that's where we're at now. It's funny. I just had a conversation today with our Coors rep that came in today. And he's trying to explain to me about all this stuff. And I knew going into this thing that through talking and listening to people how there would be a packaging problem because a lot of the packages come from China, obviously. He's just trying to say, well, we sell more Coors Light than we sell Coors, so we're just not making that. There's a shortage. There's no shortage. I mean, come on now. So,
yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot of things, and I think the brunt of that we haven't seen yet, We haven't.
Yeah.
I don't think we've seen the hold up on this thing.
Oh no, we're just in the middle of it. I mean, the last topic is Fauci because I think he's talking as we speak. I caught a little bit of it, and it's just what's the thing to the carpenter? The world looks like a hammer. I mean, all these guys that are trying to wrap us up in bubble tape and keep us safe and hand sanitizer and all this shit. Besides, like living a healthy life and kind of stay in your own controlled groups and. I don't know. I think there's the jury's out on where this thing ends. I think looking back, it's going to be really interesting, but it is the first time in history you've ever quarantined healthy people. Even like Roman time, you quarantine the sick, you quarantine the at risk. And right now they're rolling the dice on this. And there were some economists that said that for every person that dies from COVID, there's 100 people that either die or fall ill or their life circumstances change significantly. And it's something to think about, So I don't know. I think the thing's interesting.
And I'm with you on that. And that whole thing that's going on in Seattle right now, is proof positive. I don't think anybody. Seattle had one of the worst outbreaks in this country, right? But yet they have this village that they all live in now that is lawless or whatnot for the time being. And I don't think there's been no talk of how bad COVID is in that. So it's interesting. I don't, I'm not a big conspiracy guy. I'm not a big government guy. So, but I can tell you one thing. I know when something's right and not right. And this isn't right.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't add up. Doesn't make sense to me. I'm a realist when it comes to it. So, the reality of what people do, I hate to use, everybody uses the word sheep, right? And sheep will flock, blah, 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 blah. But it's not even just that. It's just, in my store, you'll see one guy come in with a mask and one guy come in with no mask and gloves. Somebody's got a mask and gloves. But for the most part, nobody's wearing really anything and, doing the best that we can, But it doesn't, I don't know.
Well, Bobby, you've spent pretty much your entire adult life not having to wear a condom, and now you're going to put one on your face?
Right.
Yeah.
That's Tom.
This man is
Tommy boy.
Did I hate wearing it? It feels like, here's the thing. If it is true and it does help stop the spread, it's the right move.
Did you just change yours?
No.
Is it reversible?
Yeah.
It was red earlier.
Mask or condom. That's all I want to know.
What, just one? Just like reusable, like rinse it out?
Yeah, Tom's so fucking cheap, he turns it inside out and shakes the fuck out of it.
100%.
Yeah, and? Remember you was talking about sticking it to the man, Bobby? I don't want to give him my tax money again. Here.
Yeah, Bobby, Tom stuck it to enough men. You know what I mean?
2.5 men.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. How is the state of craft beer in San Diego, if you don't mind me asking? I like to hear what you're guys.
It's going to be interesting. Because of this COVID thing, who's our fucking, not GABF, the Brewers Association did a poll, and it was like in April, and it was some 40% 50% of breweries said they would close their doors forever if the social distancing thing stuck or closures stuck till I think the end of this month,
July 1st.
And so the crazy thing is that the PPP thing has kind of given people somewhat of a break, and the city and local city and state loans have become available, and they're trying to do what they can. But the problem is if your boat's got a fucking 100 holes in it, it kind of doesn't matter how many paddles you throw at the guy. So there's a little bit of the delaying of the inevitable. You got to figure a lot of people that depend on draft only kind of got gutted. Some of us that are lucky that actually do canning still have, the ability to do direct to consumer, and grocery stores are essential. So those are open so people can buy. But our sales have gotten completely gutted, and most everybody else that we talk to is kind of in the same boat. So it's just weather the storm and hope it ends sooner than later situation. So I think you're gonna see a lot of places close. There's no doubt.
Yeah, Dennis and I see it, I think, somewhat similarly, because the PPP loan gave you pretty much 8 weeks of rent, utilities, and labor. Then that July 1st date now gets kicked out another 2 months. But then now everybody's also getting additional loan money, and it's pretty cheap money, but it's still money that people are going to have to pay back. And
it's still dead on the books.
Yeah, probably, I would guess, right, without looking, look at the breweries that are posting their financials. Pretty much all of us are just trying to make a profit, Never mind, make enough money to go rich.
And that's when things were good. If you're a growing brewery, cash flow is always a problem. And if you're a brewery that just kind of really depends on its tasting room, which a lot do, that's a huge problem. So no, I think a lot of people are going to have a rough go of it. So, and I think it's a matter of time to see a little bit more fallout.
We haven't gotten it's the opportunity to sell beer, Bobby, which they. And I don't blame it. I'm not blaming the government. I'm not blaming anybody. But the opportunity to sell beer has still it's crashed. So now everyone got the PPP money. Everyone got loan money. Whatever. We still aren't people aren't buying as much beer as they were because restaurants aren't open, not selling as much draft beer. So it's still a big dip.
Yeah, and summer you got to figure
and we still
too,
more breweries. That many still haven't closed.
Being a brewery in San Diego too, how much your summer sales impact almost your entire financials for the year.
Yeah.
The fact that tourism in San Diego is down. It's gonna be an interesting thing. I think there's.
Imagine being a bar in PB right now.
crazy.
And like,
fuck's sake.
I know.
Or downtown. I mean, their
Yeah.
rents, half these places, their rent's fucking $7 a foot or $10 a foot. I mean, they're just,
That's insane, dude.
yeah.
So,
You know, and we qualified for the PPP here, but I don't. And maybe Dennis, you could elaborate.
Take
on
it,
this.
take it, Bobby. I'll do your taxes. You'll be fine. Take
I
anything.
could use that.
No, I'm serious. Take anything that's available out there to you, whether you use it or not. It's a different story, but it's there for a reason, and you do have payroll. I would absolutely take it. And worst case scenario, for some reason, you know, in the 11th hour, they change it and say, okay, if your sales didn't drop by, you know, more than 25%, you owe us back. Well, it's like, screw it. You were going to pay those guys anyway. Don't do anything cute with it. Don't hire your girlfriend or anything. But you guys, you got overhead, so get it. Pay your rent, pay your employees, and then this whole thing. The details will come out later, but the reasoning behind this whole thing is to help businesses keep their doors open. It's not to nickel and dime businesses and stick it to them. I think they're going to definitely do that to people that fuck with them and try and be cute or take the money and then just move it offshore or whatever. And there's definitely going to be a lot of fraud in it the way it went so fast. But you're a viable business, you're a real business just like we are. So take the money, use it, and then if you need any help with the tax stuff, let me know.
For sure, but they really don't even know what the guidelines are.
Doesn't matter. Just take it. The guidelines are out. They keep changing them. But if you've got payroll and you've got rent, take the money and keep it simple, and you'll be fine. Yeah, it's a no brainer.
So here's an ironic story behind this. So I bought the store outright, and when I worked with this whole thing, I went to go try to buy like Coke and Pepsi. They're like, well, where's your business references? I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what you're talking about. You know, they're like, well, hey, you have it.
You're like, call Mountain Dew. He's my bro.
Do you have an SBA? And I'm like, what the hell is that? So anyways, so I worked with a credit union here called Idaho Central Credit Union. Phenomenal little place.
Nice. I'm a credit union guy.
And they got me an SBA loan because without the SBA loan, I can't even order beer. I can't order anything because you have to have this credit to show that you're paying some kind of business. It's the craziest shit ever. You probably know what I'm talking about. I didn't even know what the hell I'm talking about. But so anyways, if I didn't have that SBA thing, I'd have been doomed with all this shit. So I didn't even apply for the PPP because I had the SBA loan. They called me.
There's still money out there. Get the PPP for sure. There's still money out there. So to get it, Bobby. I'm serious about this.
No, I've already got it. We've already taken care of that.
Okay.
But we keep hearing that, you know, there's no, what do you call it? There's no
guidelines. Yeah. The one, I think the one you need to pay attention to was it was 70% payroll, 30% rent and utilities. They moved it. Now it's 60-40. So just, if anything, I would just, what we're doing at Thorn and my business is we're just going to do 100% payroll. The goal is to employ people, to keep people from going unemployed. Of course, they need to have jobs, but yeah, if you're okay and you're still making money, just fucking do the whole PPP towards payroll, and then just make your nut from the other stuff from the store being open. So pay your rent and everything else. So that way you're just same thing. Just make it to where it's hard. They can't say, you got to make their job easy. Making their job easy is where you're like, you know what, I didn't even fuck with the 60 or 70% thing. I did 100% at payroll, and then the rest of the shit I made work. So just do that, and then you're okay.
That makes sense.
You're in the clear.
Yeah, it's crazy how this whole thing works. So I don't know how they did it in California, but the governor of Idaho came forward and said, "Hey, listen, if you go back to work, we'll pay you $1,500."
That's smart.
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
Shit you not.
That's really smart.
And if you're on part-time unemployment, we'll give you $750.
Yeah, the unemployment thing's caused a problem for a lot of businesses. Businesses that I know, taxes I do, and I mean, I think even some of our employees have been like, yeah.
Yeah, ultimately, what we did is, you know, we didn't need everyone back at once. So it was kind of like, all right, hey, we need some people, and then we had a good amount come back, and then it got to a point where it's like, okay, guys, like, we are legitimately open because, you know, we have so many bartenders, and if the tasting room can't be open, then we don't really have real work for them, and it's stupid just to, like, pay them to pick weeds, right? So we tried to be like, hey, we're not going to force anyone to turn down, like, good unemployment money to keep their family fed so that they can work 8 hours a week picking weeds. But, like,
more importantly, we found other things people could do. If the tasting rooms aren't open, you can't really hire a beer tender back. But if that beer tender has There
Correct.
was some deferred maintenance. So
And
we hired them back because they could make stuff. We hired back people for the positions that there were available. We didn't just say, hey, we need a fucking dozen bartenders. You just don't when you're not open, and you don't when in these new guidelines. The new way it is it's you can't really bring back a lot of the same people for the same job because the same job doesn't exist. But for you, I don't think that's going to be the case. So your store is going to be.
Yeah, we never.
You're gonna
so
thrive.
we never stopped. So here in where I live, we had our bar shut down for a short period of time, but we stayed open the whole time. You know what I mean? We never shut down. So because we were an essential business, right? So it should be interesting to see how this thing plays out. I think it's like anything in life, and I think, Dennis, this is why you and I always got along, and Tom and I always got along, is that, I don't know how to. I like hunting. That's my thing, right? You guys like what you like. If they told me tomorrow that, hey, listen, we're taking all your guns, we're taking your bow, we're taking all that, but you can go hunt deer with rocks. There's a season for that. I'm going to figure it out because I love it.
I love it.
I mean? So I think too many times people take limitations and they put them to where they don't want to run the right. They don't want to run the race. I'm used to running on blacktop. Well, hey, we got dirt.
Yeah.
Well,
You got to roll with the punch. You got to take it on the chin and fall forward.
Yeah, you have to evolve into that. You know what I mean? And there's an old Irish saying that says, if you're not involved, you can't evolve. And I think a lot of the times, what you're going to see is a lot of the business that do shut up are people who aren't involved.
Yeah.
You have to be involved in this thing. You have to know what the barometer of your customers are. And you have to be able to have good foresight and look in the future and say, hey, listen, this is where we're going. I can kind of see where this is going. You take a gamble on that, but if you don't believe in yourself, nothing ever is going to work.
Yeah, it's actually kind of like, it sucks because a ton of, like, some people have started to lose jobs, and like a lot of people that were laid off, probably there's not going to be no job for them to come back to. And a lot of people, once PPP money's out, they're going to lose the job they currently have.
There's going to be a second wave. They extended the PPP thing, another thing, but don't even worry about it, Bobby. But they extended the time for you to use that money actually through the end of the year instead of this end of June.
Oh, I did.
Instead of end of June. But the problem with that is they didn't increase the loan amount. So the calculation of the 8 weeks is 2.5 times payroll. So you figure they're giving you 2.5 times your nut to last for 2 months, right? And that half is the rent utility component. So now they're extending the time for you to use the PPP money, but they're not increasing the amount of the loan. So there's going to be people that got the PPP money really early that were like in a mad dash to hit those requirements, which actually happened to us. And there's going to be some people that got their PPP money that also happened to us. One of the restaurants that we're involved with also got it a little bit later, and they out of the gate are stretching it out. So it's going to be interesting because I think you are going to see a wave of more unemployment and business closures, if not middle of July, end of July, and then there could be some more slow fallout through the rest of the year. That's my guess.
So, and I'm with Dennis. What I'm saying is like it really sucks that like this is how it's going to go down. But like you mentioned evolving, it's actually kind of like it's fun to try to like rethink. Okay, well, that was the old way. What's the new way going to look like? And how can you like compete in the new way? Or how can you like come out of it better than you were? So
I kind of in a sadistic way, I kind of like it because I feel like, I call it the Bubba Gump shrimp effect. Remember when the storm came and Lieutenant Dan was on the fucking crow's nest and they couldn't catch shrimp for shit, and then all the boats got wiped out and they were shrimping their fucking faces off, right? So
yeah, the only boat stayed out.
Yeah, and the other thing too is you're also going to get a lot of young, really talented people. So all of a sudden you clear the space. Now there's brewing facilities. There's landlords that need to rent their space probably for cheaper amounts. You get a kind of a changing of the guard, and you get some younger people in there with talent that probably couldn't have gotten the space as is earlier because the barrier to entry was so high and everything was so successful and so expensive. And it's like, will our businesses suffer from it and potentially close? I think anything's on the table because we don't know how long this is going to last. But I do think that kind of everyone's been living on fucking Fat and Easy Street for a long time. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes it's a good thing to kind of call the herd when it comes to just what's out there. I mean, it's kind of a rough take on the thing. I mean, I don't want people to lose their jobs. I don't want my employees to lose my jobs. I don't want to lose money, but
there are people.
it's reality.
There are people in this thing that it's hurrying up the process. It's already going to happen anyway.
Yeah, it's reality. It's just
it sounds right. I mean, it is what it is. If you're out there and you're a carpenter and it takes you a year to build a house when it takes everybody else 6 months, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
This is a speed.
It's going to suck while it's happening, but in the end, everything always does work out. It makes everybody stronger. It makes businesses stronger.
I'm 48 years old. I've never lost a job. I've never had anything bad happen to me that didn't make me better for it.
Yeah.
It makes you end up right where you're at. You're right. It does suck when you're going through it.
Yeah.
But the reality is that you end up where you're supposed to be if you're a hustler. I mean, and that's the whole thing. And I'm not talking about the magazine, Tom. I know where you're going with this shit.
Yeah, boo that you're not.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. I think that, you watch the breweries here in Boise, where kind of close to where I live, the people that did delivery, the people who thought outside the box, and they didn't have a canning line, but they had a crowler machine.
Yeah.
Those people are the people who are making it now, and it's brilliant because they thought outside the box. They hustle.
Yeah.
And I think that ends up happening with a lot of people is they don't hustle. They're if you're used to walking 2.4 miles a day and you can only walk 1.8, then you're going to sit down and cry the rest of the way. It's a waste of time.
How many miles are you walking, Tom?
Not many miles.
I was talking to Tom earlier today, and he's panting, and I was like, "What are you running or something?" He goes, "No. When I'm at my house and I get on the phone talking to someone, I pace in the room."
No, not the room, in the house.
Yeah, that's
I go into every room like in a big circle. I'm fat, Bobby.
Someone just snort right there.
Yeah, Dennis did.
Tommy's doing laps in the. He's walking again.
It's pretty close.
Oh, fuck. Well, hey, Bobby, man, it's been a fucking pleasure to see you.
Yeah, good to see you, buddy.
It's been.
I love you guys, man, and I'm glad you reached out. Not a lot of people at home reach out, and there's a few people that I'm still close with, and it's much appreciated. I've always loved Thorn Street. A lot of people don't know the story. Tom probably doesn't even know the story that, I worked with Thorn Street a long time ago.
Yeah, you told me you caught Ron stealing.
Well. Yeah.
Hey, the one thing Bobby always called it like it is, and he doesn't pull punches, which is why we've always stayed friends. And he could anytime you're in town, man, you need a job, you need a piggyback ride, whatever you want, man. You got it. So we're good.
Yeah. And likewise, Idaho's open to you guys.
I'm coming.
We love
Thank you, buddy.
I'm filling up the trailer and coming up there. Not even kidding. We're gonna figure out the logistics after this.
Always welcome, brother.
Right on.
Thank you, buddy.
Peace, love.
Thanks, Bobby.
Love you guys.
Be good, brother.
Bye-bye.
Bobby.